All right, ladies, so you've been out of work for months, and finally, you get a call to come in for an interview, and your heart's pounding like crazy. I know what you mean, and that's why this book will really come in handy, I'll tell you. It is called The Underground Guide to Job Interviewing, billed as a quick and irreverent primer for the working professional, and it is the work of an executive recruiter. Say hi to Todd Moster. He is from Moster Legal Placement, and he's nice enough, Todd is, to join us here on Studio 11 LA. You know, we all know about the things you're supposed to do. Nice suit, ladies, nice pantsuit. 5 things you never, ever want to do. First one, we'll go right down the list, Todd, is you want to make sure you prepare for that interview. You don't want to go in and think you're going to be cocky enough to wing it.
That's absolutely right. We all think that we know what we do. And because we know what we do, that we can easily relate and talk about that to somebody else, but that's not the case. And when you look at it, more people spend time on planning a vacation trip out of town than they do on planning for a job interview.
That's very important, because people, they're interviewing hundreds of people for that one job. You got to be on your game real quick. Also be on your game. If that interview is at 10:05, you don't want to show up at 10:05, 10:06.
That's absolutely right. This is a mistake that many people make, even sophisticated people make, is that they're busy and they arrive late to the interview. I've sent some pretty high-level people out on interviews. If they're even a minute late, they've never gone on to get the job. So plan for bad traffic, plan for a presidential motorcade, plan for anything in the world. Make sure that you get into the reception area 5 to 7 minutes before the interview
Especially
starts.
the interviews over here on the west side. Okay, point number 3 that you never ever want to do is, salary is very important, but you never want to go in there and you're going to ask the guy or the lady from HR, how much is the job paying?
That's right. This is a subject that comes up a lot, and it seems logical that you're interviewing for a job. We all work to support ourselves, but it's just not done. The social custom is that you do not ask about compensation at an interview. Do that and you're out.
So but you might talk about maybe your salary in a prior job. This way it gives you an idea, and the employer an idea that you're in the ballpark.
That's right. Now, if an employer asks you what your salary was at a past job, sure, you can talk about what it is, but it's definitely not a subject to bring up.
And that brings us to point number 4 that you never ever want to do. You don't want to be vague and unfocused when you're asking and answering a lot of questions. You want to walk into that room, I guess, with a sense of purpose, like you know what you're talking about, and you know a lot about the job that you're interviewing for.
Absolutely right. And this goes to the very first point again, which is preparation. You want to research the job, you want to research the job description and the company, and you want to go into any interview with at least 10 to 15 open-ended questions you can ask about the job and the company, things that cannot be answered with a yes or no question. And you want to interview the interviewer, because you bring something to the table, and a job interview is a two-way street.
And that's a good point. And also the last point that you never want to do, I think you just made also in point 4, I was thinking, you never want to answer a question with yes or no. You want to keep your answers, concise, but also right to the point when you're being asked some specific questions. And also you don't want to, blow up your experience and say you got more experience than you have.
Exactly, and that leads us to the last point, which is don't exaggerate your experience. If you try to fake something that you don't know, it'll be detected. And on the other hand, you do want to be as concise as you can. Plan for about 40 seconds for an answer, no matter how broad the question is, and you'll do fine.
That's a good point. All right, there is Todd. And again, the book, it's a great book because a lot of us are unemployed. This will really help you. The Underground Guide to Job Interviewing. Todd, good job yourself, my friend.
All right, thank you very much.
Jeff, it's yours.
Thank you very much, Ed.